Hi guys, Angela here, and welcome to Hobby Night and my very first unboxing video. For this video today, I chose to pick up the Ogroid Myrmidon from Warhammer Age of Sigmar WarCry at my friendly local game store, where I got him for about $40 or your regional equivalent. We're going to open this guy up, we're going to take a look at the sprues and his rules inside, and then I'm actually going to build him, and we're going to take a look at what the final mini looks like, all built. So I will see you then. All right, and here we go. We have the Ogroid Myrmidon miniature from Age of Sigmar WarCry. Let's take a look at this. All the warnings. Oop, the top of the box. The side of the box. And the bottom. Let's take a look at the back. It's got that. Comes in several different languages, comes with the data sheet for using him in the game and everything. So let's get to it. Let's open this up and take a look at what we've got in here. Alright, that's all empty. So we start with the sprue. This looks like it's the back side. And there's the front. So what do we got here? Oh, I like the engravings on him, both of his legs. There's his banner and looks like maybe an arm. We've got his, no, those look like probably his arms, or shoulders rather. His cool spear. Pretty nasty looking. Oh, look at his little face. I like the horns on this guy, he's pretty neat. And then he's got a pretty standard chaos shield. Couple little skulls for the base and everything. Very cool. Can't wait to build this guy. Probably not going to necessarily use him for WarCry, as I don't play that yet. I have the starter set, but I don't actually haven't actually opened it up and played it or anything yet. But I'm actually got him because I wanted to use it for possibly a D&D miniature, if not a greater demon, but I think he's going to be a little too small for that. Or not a greater demon, sorry, that's ridiculous. It's just a demon prince, but I think he's a little too small. Anyways, here we have the instructions for how to build him. So we'll just go through that. I will be building him and showing him off at the end of this video. So you can look forward to seeing him all put together and everything. Do a couple close-ups. Doesn't look like he's going to be too difficult. Most of their newer models, I find, tend to be pretty easy to put together, especially their single pose stuff. Oh, that's cool. The skulls actually go on the shield. I hadn't noticed in the picture on the box. That is going to be fun. Yeah, so that is him built up, and then of course GW always gives you some Citadel paints recommendations for what they did for their color scheme, which we can actually see here. Looks pretty good. I'll probably do something similar. I tended to keep to the fairly classic look, but we'll see how I take him. Alright, well, let's take a look at the data card now. It comes in a little plastic bag. There's actually several sheets in here. Oh, probably because of all the different languages, of course. Alright, so we have the small card that is, I think, your quick reference. Like I said, I have not played this yet, any WarCry, so I am not 100% sure what these mean, but there's the card and there's the back of it. And then here is the actual card. So here's the front, just showing what he looks like, and his abilities. So the Ogroid Myrmidon has double Berserk. A fighter can only use this ability if 20 or more damage points have been allocated to them. Add half the value of this ability, rounding up, to the attack's characteristic of the next action, made by this fighter this activation that has a ranged characteristic of 3 or less. Then it looks like he also has triple arcane fury. Until the end of this fighter's activation, add the value of this ability to the damage points allocated by each critical hit from attack actions made by this fighter that have a range characteristic of 3 or less. And then finally, Quad Blood Marshal. Pick a friendly fighter within 4 inches of the fighter using this ability. Allocate 1 damage point to that fighter. If the fighter picked is not taken down, that fighter can make a bonus attack action that has a range characteristic of 3 or less. So those are his abilities. Seems pretty cool. And then, of course, like I said, these are the various other languages that they print the card in. But there you have it. We'll come back in a bit after I have him built and put together on his base, which I guess we should show too, if I can pick it up. There you go. I hate when they have those little stringies. So there you go. We'll see you in a bit, guys. All right, and here he is, the Ogroid Myrmidon, all built up. Took me about 20 or 30 minutes or so. I did spend a little bit of time making sure that, you know, all the mold lines were cleaned up. I think I got most of them. I do really like the skulls here on the shield. I thought originally they were going to go on the base when I was doing the unboxing, but it turns out he just, you know, shoved his spikes on the shield into people's faces and their heads stuck. I did struggle a little bit with the tail when I was building this. It just didn't want to sit right at first, but I eventually got it. Looks pretty cool. The spear was fun. I always like the designs that GW does for some of their spear weapons. All little spiky bits. Yeah, overall I'm pretty pleased with him. I think he turned out pretty cool. I plan, I think, to see if maybe I can pair him with a Baphomet demon that I have from Gale Force 9, because he's kind of a similar build that I'm doing some kit bash stuff on right now, and if I can tie them together a little bit, it might be a cool pair to have for like an Avernus campaign or something as a random encounter monster. I've been thinking about, while I was building him, what I might do color scheme wise. I might do a little bit of like a purple tinge in the mane here, just to do something kind of different than just the classic sort of red, gray, black look that they tend to do on demons. Mostly because I just like that color, and I really like the way the contrast purples look. I tend to do most of my painting with the contrast paints just because I find it's easier. I really like working with watercolor and inks in traditional mediums, and so contrast functions very similarly to that, so it just makes it easier for me to sort of wrap my head around how colors are going to work together. But yeah, that is the Ogroid Myrmidon. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time. Hi guys, thanks for watching. If you like that video, make sure to subscribe and hit that bell icon below for more. If you'd like to see additional stuff that I do, you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at hobby_night. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time.